Thank you, David.
Please.
I was just invited to sit next to Mr. David Growls here. Thank you for
My pleasure.
letting me into the secret place here. The secret NMP PCH HayaBusa place, as we can see. And guess where we are? Can anybody guess? Well, what do you think? Well, you know where we are, but it's a different place. So we are in it's kind of Lake Wales here with the Belgians. And what brings you here? I mean, I usually have to drive to Zephyr Hills. You know, my favorite 2-hour drive, and but this time, no, we are in Lake Wales.
You will still be driving that way in the future. Yeah, this is just they had Zephyr Hills was closing up on some days, unfortunately, so we had to come up with a plan B, and Lake Wales is a perfect plan B for us. So yeah.
And it is summer, you know, almost the middle of the summer already, June 21st, you know, longest summer day, and you don't mind the summer heat, right? No air condition here. It's in the team trailer here, but you don't hear air condition and you don't feel air condition. You like the Florida summer, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather be too hot than too cold, I would say.
That's true.
It was just how the year planned out with the camp we had previous in Brazil. Normally we don't come so late to Florida, but eventually we wanted another camp in. And I think if we would have stayed in Belgium, then we would for sure have had very limited jump numbers for this period. So yeah, it's warm, but it's manageable. We're just in and out of the plane so fast. We try not to stay on the ground too long.
That's right. I mean, if you're doing your back to back, like, and you're always up there in the cool, nice,
not too bad.
10,000 foot air. Yeah, that's perfect. Well, we here on the ground, we are sweating. You know, like, that's a great thing. So that's the best place actually to be at in the Florida summer. How was Brazil?
It was hot, and it was one of the best camps I think that we ever experienced. It was super nice. Yeah, it was super nice. I mean, the Brazilian army did so well on handling everything what we needed, and we hope for a continuation next year.
And now we're back in Brazil. I explained that, comprehensively. I tried, at least. I hope I could explain this properly, how you're switching your slots and in which order. Anybody check that? Was that all kind of correctly, anybody? Okay, good. But now here it's less complicated because Ray is jumping all the time, right? So are you now fully accepted as if you're jumping all the time, he's out now, you're in.
Yeah.
And but it's only for here.
So SISM is coming up beginning of July. This camp, it would have cost us maybe a bit too much money to bring a sixth person with the team. So, and also, long-term wise, I think it's nice for Ray to get a full camp in, because Brazil was a good camp for us, but the fact that we jumped the most with Dave and then lesser with Ray, it's not, for progression, it's not the best for him. And now he gets to do the almost, I don't know how many jumps we're going to get in, but I think it's between 80 and 90 somewhere. That's good for him. And then the next camp in 2 weeks in Belgium, we'll be focusing again a lot more on getting ready for the comp with Dave. And depending how we feel, we'll jump with the lineup with Ray or keep focusing on the system. So it's going to be more focused with Dave, but if we have the chance to do some jumps with Ray, we will.
But Ray at the World Meet, that's still...
Yeah. No, Dave is out after SISM.
July, don't have to call me again. End of July, let's say.
Are you ready for SISM?
No, can you ever be ready if you don't train enough? So I think it's not that I have doubts, but I would not go 100% confident or with too much confidence to there. I mean, I rather treat it as seeing Qatar as a threat and just perform on our best. And it's never. I think for now it's not like in the past. It was kind of almost a guarantee that we will win the season, and I don't have that now.
Okay.
I don't treat it like that now. So I still have a month to prepare myself to be in my top game, and we'll I think somewhere around the 9th or the 10th or the 11th of July, then we'll know if we're at first place, yes or no.
But you have won it with Neil already, right?
No,
This
no,
is-
it's my first season.
Not season.
This will be my first season. So 2022, when I came in my team, I was doing my military boot camp when they did the season. Then Dave stepped in again.
Yeah.
And then 2023 there was no season, so this is my first season.
All right, so you are competing for the, together actually, two of you for that first time winning the season.
Yeah, I think the whole team is shook up. We're all almost on different places except me. I have a new peace partner. They have a new peace partners together. So it's kind of exciting, but I mean it is what it is, and we are a professional team, and we have to deal with it and be on our best. And calendar wise, it was kind of a mix to be on our best throughout the whole season. I think every team knows how difficult it already is to be in your A slot, then let alone stand that you have to do different slots, and you also need to excel there. But like I say, we're a professional team and we need to handle it, and I think this was for us the best solution. Nevertheless, you don't know where we end up, and I think the spirit is high, and I think the working ethic is very high. I mean, they're all very athletic, guys, and they're doing their best. They're training hard. I don't hear anybody complaining. Never the fact that it is very hot, and like I said, it's like we'll see where eventually where we end.
We have actually, in fact, with the heat, we have a quiet place here now and today, because there's a power fail. Everybody now that it's summer is here in Florida, everybody turns on the air condition.
Yes, true.
And then it could easily happen that there's not enough power available. Anyway, so Ray, you have not done any of the SISM jump. You have never done a SISM jump yet, right? So star out the door and then holding it, and then you've never done that yet.
No.
That's funny.
Believe me, he will do enough in his career.
That's for sure. Yeah. So how does it look for you? Does it look like it looks like fun, or do you have a take on that?
Yeah, I think it looks fun to go with a star, wait, and then do the jump, but it's basically the same like another jump.
It's easier for the brain too, right? You don't have... No, you have some memory in there, right? Yeah. And SISM has short sequences down the door, but memory.
And it's fast, eh? Like, you have very little time, like, during the jump to sort of relax, let's say, because it's always coming fast with a fast sequence, an end of a block, and then it's bum, bum, bum. So you cannot look around too much.
Okay, so you really have to focus on that. Be ready for not much adjustments in one jump. Well, yeah, and you have now the most important page, the first page. It's basically not really there. I mean, it is the bottom of it, the subterminal, but you're not working on subterminal here. What do you think about the subterminal part? Is that's a fun.
The hill.
The hill.
Still difficult.
I saw it. I think some of your biggest fans, the team I'm coaching there for Action in Fort Lauderdale, they're big fans, and they watch everything that is posted. They know more about HayaBusa than I do. And they showed me some videos, the recent videos or so. Now some on the hill, and I said, it's not really the greatest on the planet yet. And that's probably why you posted it. I have the suspicion anyway that HayaBusa at this point in time, you're keeping something a little bit under the cover. I think you're much better already than you're trying to make everybody believe.
Well, but the story is fantastic. I mean, Ray, how many jumps did you just pass?
Right now, 560.
So he just passed 500 in the last training camp. And
With Hayabusa or
no, jump
total?
total. Yeah. So I think the story about where
Yeah, of
we
course.
were and where we're going at, and if you look at the goals that we have in the future, I think that story is fantastic. And yes, do we want to be further in our progression? Of course, but if not, do we then need to push it to be there? I also don't think that we have to be there so quickly. I mean, we've been talking about it so many times. I think it's progressional wise, it's going to be step by step. And yes, you will have ups and downs, and sometimes the downs will be very frustrated. And I hope everybody in the audience understands that it's not something that comes by accident or fluid. No, it takes time and it's hard work and it's a big work ethic, and then eventually after a certain amount of jumps, then you get there. But if you only have 560 jumps like what he has now, some parts in the jump he will see new things that he never experienced before. And I rather see him do that now, like when he goes upside down or on his back, or he clings somebody on the hill and he doesn't like the hill. I rather see that happening right now, that he takes that into the next part of his career, that it becomes much more smarter, so that does not happen when he has a world championship coming up. So rather do that now and then experience it, and then at the world championship be super ready.
So France recently with bringing Tom Martoni into the lineup, Mathieu Albang are kind of young anyway. Then you bring in Ray, also obviously same like Tom age-wise, and so the next personnel change is coming up soon, right?
Who?
On airspeed.
Yeah.
We know that's not a secret any longer that Niklas and Mikhail will not continue with the team after the World Championship, and they will need 2 new people. Do you think they will follow the same pattern like France, picking it in a totally different way? Or in the past, we talked about this a little earlier, briefly, and we can pick that up again. We know that airspeed had the farm team SDC Rhythm XP in the US, where they usually recruited, primarily. What do you think? Is that...
It's a lot of things to consider, right? If you take new team members, like the skills skydiving wise is one part, but once you go to a professional team, you need to quit a certain job that they might already have. It's maybe moving across the states for people, so there's more to take into account than just current skydiving skills. And eventually, if you allow the opportunity to a less experienced jumper, but maybe with more potential, once you get the opportunity to really train as a professional, you don't know in advance where it's going to lead to. So yeah, you can take a very, very professional, very, very skilled jumper now, but if that plateaus out in 6 months, then maybe it's better to go with a little bit less of current skills, but with a longer runway. But there's so many things to keep in mind for them. I think they have quite some options in the States. There are plenty of skydivers, I would believe, compared to maybe France and Belgium. But yeah, it's up to them to see, okay, what is the runway we want to take, how far out in the future are the goals that we want to meet. And I'm pretty sure they will have plenty of candidates.
the list is probably long of applications, you probably call it.
But yeah, we cannot decide for them. We'll see. We're curious what the future will bring for the next airspeed lineup.
So everybody on this planet, on the 4-way planet, let's say, or formation skydiving competition planet, is speculating at this point in time. Who is it gonna be? What's a Hayabusa speculation here?
Honestly, I don't think anybody of us made a speculation, because we're more at it, and we're already focused enough with ourselves. We understand that it's going to be hard for airspeed to decide. It always is, but I have no idea.
Have you heard anything? I mean,
No.
you're
No.
in the heart, in the core system of
No.
the sport. So nobody is speculating. Everybody is polite enough to say let's just leave it up to them and wait until the World Championship? And
It's the
then,
most respectful as well. you know.
yes, yeah,
Not
including myself. I could, I haven't spread any rumors, so I have not asked any stupid questions yet.
Plus, imagine the amount of pressure that the two new people need to have to fill shoes from Nicholas and
Kill.
yeah, it's they were so big that loss of those two guys stepping out of the team is going to be so huge that yeah.
It might be easier even to have somebody, who is like Ray, who is totally new, because then you don't get this feeling, yes, of course, big shoes, but I cannot fill them anyways. We all know that. So maybe that's a less pressure than, brigade.
But it's two guys as well, huh?
Yeah.
It's also a different story. We only had to swap one, and he's like encapsulated between three more skilled. But if you pick out two, then it's a lot of juggling to do to keep it together, huh? At the beginning. So yeah.
But I can imagine that somebody who is more experienced is under more pressure than somebody who is totally new coming into that.
Yeah.
So it is, maybe it takes more time, of course, to feed the new member into the team system, but the pressure, for SB, if it's one of the experienced guys in the, in the country now in the US, that is pressure.
Expectations are very high.
Right.
All the time. Expectations to be on an airspeed lineup is very high. And these guys can experience it as well. The moment that you put on a Hayabusa suit, everybody expects you to do great things. And we just sometimes need to lower expectations to, hey, remember where these guys are coming from. And the road to the top is very long and very hard and doesn't come easy. It just needs a certain amount of jumps that we need to keep on doing.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I mean, right now we are not speculating. We haven't said one name yet or anything. We are just, but the concept is interesting. Young, new one, experienced one. From the farm teams which are out there. There are plenty of advanced class competitors in the country.
But if you look at the history, they always went with experience.
Yes, they have.
They never went with new person. They always went with, these guys are already on a certain limit and on a certain level, I would say, and let's see if that matches up. And in the past, it always worked out really well. They did not always won, but eventually they were still immediately a super strong lineup, and that's why this time it can be different. And also, but if you look at like history, might also be not.
But in history, the airspeed usually had pretty tough, close competition, right? So right now there is really, and they recruited from this. I mean, they never left a doubt about this. They said that there are two things. First of all, we are getting strong very quickly, but secondly, we are weakening our strongest opponents, by recruiting from them. So they didn't hide that. It was a part of their strategy. But right now there is not really anybody challenging airspeed in the country. So
we might even see names that nobody knows.
Yeah.
As like what we did, but I don't know. It's again, they have to change 2 slots, not just one. So changing one, and if it's a new guy, that might be a bit easier to put one very new guy with 3 already very experienced and high level skydivers. But that's maybe one thing I do see. I don't think they will do 2 brand new guys. That's what I think right now. Just popped into my head. But let's see. Who knows? Maybe they do one very experienced, one very new. I don't know.
But it will surely bring France, Hayabusa, and Qatar closer to airspeed again, automatically, naturally, right? There's nobody has a doubt about that. Well, is that exciting for her? I mean, that must be kind of.
Yeah, of course. But you always want. We think our ultimate goal is to become world champion again in X amount of years. But we want to compete against the best teams. We want to become world champion against the best teams at the moment. So we'll see in the future which teams on the highest level, and we hope airspeed will be back soon on a top level and compete at that, because it's only for the sport. It's so much better if there are 4 teams on top and competing against each other than only one. So we'll see how it goes.
we have friends there, who are probably, I guess, I mean, my personal guess would be they take the number 1 position probably, after the World Championship, and then there will be interesting. I mean, everybody will be chasing France probably, from then on.
Especially indoor.
Yeah,
I guess.
well, indoor
If
for
France
sure,
can stay together indoor at the next World Championship in Refort in 2025. Yeah, they're gonna be the top contenders, I guess. No, not guessing, just knowing.
Yeah, it seems. Well, we have as far as I know, I think there is a plan that Airspeed will. They wanted to know the SISM competition draw. So I guess this time they want to make it. They have been doing this in the past, of course. When you were doing SISM, they would do the SISM jumps, and then compare it. I think this time they it seems to be more official. They really want to come out and do it kind of synchronized, or somehow. Did you know that? Or?
Yeah. Nicholas asked me.
Oh, he was okay.
Funny thing is that Nicholas asked it to me and not Chris or Joey.
Yeah. Well, I guess he is the most competitive guy in the team. Yeah, so that will be interesting. So that's coming up in a few weeks, in a month basically, right?
Yeah, I think the 6th of July, I think the championship will start.
Yeah. Well, so we'll blow that up a little bit to a highest excitement level as we can. I'll do my best.
But I also think that they should do it on different positions then, just like we do.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. Yes, switch it exactly the same way. Switch
I mean, if you want to compete against us, then
bring
from a chopper.
Exactly, and bring the camera guy.
Yeah.
Bring the camera guy down. Who's inside center? Chris is filming then.
Yeah, good idea. But you and the Qatar Tigers too. They would have to do the same thing then too, switch.
Yeah,
because
that's not gonna happen.
No, I don't think they will.
I think they will be aiming for gold.
Airspeed may be ready for that. Who knows?
Maybe we'll see. Maybe they'll do something fun. Yeah.
It's just for fun for them anyway.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we're gonna cut it here. The air conditioner is not back yet, which means we cannot fuel the plane yet.
No, still have to wait a bit.
Well, then we can keep on chatting. So I said battery. All right. Well, thank you very much. I cannot do much longer anyway, because then they all fall asleep there on the other side of the camera. They will never fall asleep with HayaBusa though. But all right, guys. Well, good. Have fun with the training, and good luck with I don't think before the season we will meet each other again, because you're training now on home turf in Belgium, right?
Yeah.
Is that military area, or is it a private?
No, private, just a normal club.
Which one is it?
Spa.
Spa. Oh, you're still in Spa, like the Spa HayaBusa.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah.
Back at the days, Back at the days.
Hopefully it's gonna be good weather, because Spa can be very cold. Very cold.
No, not in June.
It can be very cold, I'll tell you.
Okay, so I wish you warm weather.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.